Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your collective reading for the month of August. I've got your oracle cards shuffled and ready to go. Please do keep in mind that this is a general collective reading, so not every single message may resonate with you. Take what does, leave what does not here, because it could be a message for someone else. Okay, so a couple things coming through right off the bat. I feel really thirsty suddenly. So there could be a group of you that are needing to more than drink water. It feels like for a group of you, some of you would really benefit from spending time in or around water. Think oceans, streams, rivers, lakes. It just feels like I'm hearing some of you need to return home. That could be literal for some of you. You need to return to your place of birth or where you consider it to be home. But it's this feeling of like needing to connect with that element of water because you're a water sign. Okay, so let's see what's in the tarot card for you today. I'm hearing someone ask. I'm using the Chariot tarot card. That's your card in the tarot deck. This may have come up last time, so pardon me if I'm repeating myself. But there's the first thing that I'm noticing in this card is the shield of armor that is over the chest. There's this feeling of a need or a desire to protect the heart at this time, Cancer. Some of you could be kind of blocking out things that are around you, maybe noise. Some of you could be, I'm hearing sound deprivation chamber. So for some of you, you could be really trying to block out the energy of noise of the outside world, really trying to slow things down. So I'm getting a tingle in my crown chakra. So some of you could be trying to connect to the heavens, I'm hearing, or the cosmos, connect to your angels and your guides. Some of you I'm hearing are asking a lot of really existential questions like, what is the meaning of life? That could be something you've been moving through. Also, what is the meaning of my journey or my purpose is coming up here. A lot of you, Cancer, could be working through some really existential questions about why you're here, why you're doing what you're doing. Also questioning like if you're doing the right things in life. With that, I'm seeing all the stars in the side of the card now. It does feel like you are. For a large group of you, I'd say at least like 80 to 90% of you, you're doing the right things. It's almost like needing to weather this present storm that you're going through in order to be reconnected. I'm hearing with your divinity or reconnected with the cosmos. Some of you are really diving deep into your shadow side right now. For those of you that are not yet, there could be this feeling around that of maybe some like heavier things coming up from you, childhood wounds coming up for you, attachment trauma is also coming up. But there's this feeling of like being almost like sucked into that shadow self. And it may feel really difficult and overwhelming. But it's almost like for those of you that this is resonating, it's almost like you have the awareness that if you keep on this ride, I'm hearing, you're going to come out a lot freer. So in this card, there's one horse that's darker colored and it's also like translucent. It's just an outline. And then my guides showed me that this other horse is in full color and it's free and it has the ability to almost like what you have the ability to take shape of and free yourself from. I trust that that's making sense. There's also this message here, Cancer, of you're driving this. Like you're in control of your journey. Perhaps that's something that some of you needed to hear, is that you're the one that's in control. You're the one that's making these decisions. I feel like that could go into things, topics along the lines of like our thought patterns creating our reality. And so watching your thought patterns, I feel like that could go down a whole like a rabbit hole of information along ways of thinking, and what's the other law of attraction, things like that. So if that resonates with you, you know where to go as far as looking into this. Okay. All right, let's get into the oracle message for you, Cancer. So we have, I just questioned whether or not I was recording. So for some of you, you may be second guessing yourself in something that you're doing or moving through. All right, so we have the first oracle card out by the book. Transformation. Courage. Oh, here's that water energy. Got this one. Purity. Okay, so what's coming to me right off the bat is this energy of moving through a powerful transformation that is requiring you to summon up a lot of courage. It feels like whatever negative energy or toxicity, perhaps this is addiction for some of you, negative thought patterns, this came up for Capricorn as well, interestingly enough. But there is this energy of like something dark or heavy being purged and set free. It does feel like for those of you who have been doing something very by the book or something that it's almost like the energy of like, I've been through this before. I know how to navigate this kind of thing. Whether this is in your emotional healing journey, this is in relationship or work. It's almost the feeling of like, I know what I'm doing. But there's this message here from the universe of like, you may have been through other transformations or whatever this is, but this one is still individual and unique, and there's room to move differently. There's this big emphasis on every experience is unique, Cancer. So leaving room for that fluidity of water to move and purify. Taking something that perhaps you have tried to approach in a rigid way and letting the flow of energy of water be what purifies and allows that transformation. Okay, so we have rest. I am connected to the earth. And then plant a seed and wait. I remember these three came out together in one chunk. Again, for this group, there's this big emphasis on earth energy, so water, grounding. For those of you that this feels aligned, it feels like, I'm looking at this in almost a metaphorical sense. Consider yourself the seed. Meshing yourself with the earth energy. So whatever speaks to you, for a large group of you, it feels like water. Placing yourself in the water and being that seed of energy and finding the rest there and being patient with yourself while you have this detoxification or this transformation. There is this energy of, I'm hearing for some of you catastrophic, so it could be very jarring change. Some of you, this is a whole new perspective, a whole new way of life. And it just feels like you need to give yourself the time and space to transform and be fluid. We have content coming out here, love and success. I like that love and success come out together. Whatever it is that you're moving through, Cancer, whatever detoxification that is challenging you, I'm hearing, it feels like if you allow yourself the ability to move freely and be in fluidity and channel that energy of water, you're going to find success in love and contentment. And it feels like, first and foremost, within connection to self. There's this feeling of you being able to connect with yourself in a whole new way, loving yourself in a new way, and that completely changing your perspective on perhaps something in particular or in general. But it feels like after moving through a lot of challenge, you land in a really beautiful place. And that could be happening for you this August. So let's see what's going on for you, Cancer. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Thank you, divine archangels or divine angels, for being with me, for guiding this reading and bringing forward any messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising that they need to hear, know, or see. 3 more. Got it. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Thank you for these beautiful messages. Okay. 2 of Cups. Beautiful. Judgment and the Chariot. Some of you could be having some sort of a revelation in a relationship that allows movement forward. Some of you could also be having some realization about love that allows you to move forward. Some of you could also be having a new partnership of sorts, or an existing one, a partnership of sorts, that there's some decision made that allows you to move forward. There is this energy with this of you not having all of the answers right now. The Judgment is about answers. It's about awakenings or revelations or making a really big decision. So if it is true for you right now, Cancer, that you don't have all of the answers, they are coming to you. Okay. What's at the center of this reading for Cancer? We've got the 6 of Swords, and I see the Justice here as well. I wasn't going to continue going on, but I'll read the energy as if it's present. At the center of the reading, we have an energy of you trying to move forward, leave some baggage behind. 4 of Cups here, the Death card, 3 of Swords. Some of you could have experienced, for some of you, this feels like a long-standing transformation of self. It's almost like going through the layers of the onion, transforming and shedding, and it feels like for some of you this could be a little bit draining, and you're wanting to leave that energy behind. I don't know if you just heard, but my puppy has a tendency of interacting in my videos by pushing buttons, and he pushed my robot vacuum and it said returning to the dock to charge. So for some of you, I believe I said in the beginning of this reading, there's this energy of returning home, whether that's returning home to self or your place of origin. For some of you, you also may have experienced an ending of a relationship that led to a lot of emotional pain. And I'm also hearing turmoil, whether this is in the present or in the past. And it feels like you're ready to leave that behind. Okay, what's crossing this? Six of Swords. The Ten of Swords is coming out here. So an energy of endings. Yeah, and then we have the Death card here and the World. So some of you could have experienced a recent ending. Let's see what's behind this. The Emperor, the Six of Wands, the Fool card. So a couple of things coming through with this. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio, an Aries, or dealing with a masculine energy. Some of you could be coming back into contact with this person. There is a possibility for that here. More than anything, though, it feels like the ending of this is pushing you in the direction that you need to be in order for your personal success. It does feel like even though you're in this energy of Ten of Swords, which is of a lot of emotional pain and turmoil, it literally has an image of someone being stabbed in the back 10 times. Even though you're in this place of that energy and trying to leave it, you do end up in the place of the Fool. So a new beginning. Okay. All right. What's in the recent past for Cancer? Oops. Wow, cards are going everywhere. All right. In the recent past, we have the Devil and the Six of Pentacles. Devil can represent Capricorn. We also have the Queen of Wands coming out here. It landed face down, so I'm not going to take it. Some of you could be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Double emphasis on Aries. So, Seven of Cups, the World. Page of Cups, Two of Cups, Judgment, and the Chariot. There's that beginning energy. So in the recent past, tell me about this Devil. What is this here? Four of Pentacles. Some of you in the recent past, Cancer, could have been dealing with an energy of, I want to get a little bit more clarity on this. What is this Devil card? Because intuitively it's reading to me and I want to be able to deliver it properly. Okay, so some of you were really putting a lot of energy into something in the recent past that what's this energy? It almost feels like, in a way, it almost feels like a recreation of something. It almost feels like falling back into old patterns, even with this Devil card here. The Devil can be about ego. It can be about bondage or chains. It can be about obsession. It can be about sexual energy. It can be about addictions. So the way it's reading to me here with the Six of Pentacles is kind of like, especially because it had the Seven of Cups underneath it, it's almost like in the recent past, you were in some situation where you fell back into maybe people-pleasing tendencies or putting in a ton of effort into something where it wasn't, I'm hearing it wasn't being valued or seen for what it was. And this feels like for some of you, this could be a pattern where you give a lot because it makes you feel good to give a lot. And it could have been in that relationship dynamic that already came up. But what's clarifying it is the Magician. And it feels like for a group of you, perhaps you started gaining the awareness that maybe you weren't operating from the space that you wanted to be operating from. You weren't growing. It feels like with the intention of what it is that you're wanting to create in your life. Anything else on this here in the recent past? Eight of Wands. Yeah. Eight of Wands and the Two of Cups here. So there's just this energy of perhaps in the recent past, you're dealing with some sort of dynamic that it feels like you were giving a lot to energetically and working towards and really trying to create this connection. But there's also this feeling of sabotage in a way. Nine of Swords just came out. So maybe you felt like it was one-sided in the recent past. Okay. What's in the upcoming near future position for Cancer? Thank you. Two of Pentacles coming out. We also have the Page of Wands. The Sun card, the Ten of Cups is here too. So all really beautiful energy. In the upcoming near future, it feels like, Cancer, that I'm hearing, having the ability to find a state of balance. And it also feels like you have the ability to make some new choices. For some of you, this energy that you were dealing with in the past may come back around and offer you some sort of an apology. For those of you that it resonates, it does feel genuine, and there's this energy of them having learned something and wanting to put in the work. There is that here. But there's also this feeling of you having the ability to decipher or determine whether or not this is a good situation for you. And also, I feel like for a large group of you, having the strength to say no. So even if this person comes back in for you, Cancer, whether this is a lover or a former lover, a friend, a family member, someone in business, there's this energy, I just saw the Five of Cups, of being able to see the ways that you were not being satisfied in the past and having the ability now to say, I feel really balanced on my own, and I know what it takes for me to feel good now, and focusing on that. There's just this determination to protect the self and not get into the same situation that you were in before, it feels like. Okay. All right. In the above position, the King of Cups just slipped into the reverse, so we'll take it. And the Knight of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords, the Temperance, and the Five of Cups, Hierophant. So in the above position, the King of Cups in the reverse, it feels to me like you could be or could have been dealing with someone who was not very emotionally mature. Perhaps they were here 1 minute, gone the next, because that feels like it's someone that you're dealing with. Yeah, it just feels like this energy of not being very emotionally mature and almost just like leaving at a moment's notice. Yeah, I'm really focused on the legs. So this person that you were dealing with or have been dealing with, it feels like they could have just been like, maybe for some of you, you had a sense that there was always one foot out the door. For others of you, they just made a split decision and left the room, left the environment, take it how it resonates for you. But this reading is definitely around someone that was dealing with another person. Some of you, this could have been in the further past, or some of you could be in the present, where just it was like a sudden divide. With the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck, the Temperance card, some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, I'm hearing, or another fire sign, and then the Five of Cups. I also saw the Hierophant. I also just started feeling really nauseous. So for some of you, when you're anxious, you could be feeling nausea. Could be a sign for some of you. Anyway, okay, so there is this message at the bottom of the deck of you being able to use this experience as something that's almost helping you to develop your boundaries further. All right, what's in the below position for Cancer? I liked that one. Yeah. Okay, so we have the Empress here and the Four of Pentacles. So in the below position, it feels like you're really okay. Couple of things. The below position represents the subconscious mind, what's going on inside your head. And it feels like for some of you, you could be very focused on a feminine energy, a divine feminine. For those of you that are feminine watching this, it feels like you're really focused internally. Even if you're masculine and watching this, you could be focusing inward on the things that you can do to be in a more receptive place. So if the message of people pleasing or overly giving to people or things or situations is resonant for you, you could be in your subconscious mind or doing the inner work on how do I be in more of a receiving place than a chasing place, allowing things to come to me. Some of you could be having a difficult time letting go of this partner. Some of you could be really focused on like the good times that you've had with this person and still really feeling the loss. Where others of you have already moved beyond that and are in the place of almost celebrating what you've been through. For those of you that this is like an older energy, I feel like you're moving into the place of really celebrating the fact that you experienced this difficult lesson, this transformation, and you're like, wow, I'm feeling so emotionally fulfilled within the self. For others of you that are a little bit newer on this journey of losing this partner, or however the storyline fits into your life, it feels like you could still be navigating that loss and the feelings around like reminiscing a lot and feeling like you're remembering all of the good times. Okay. What is the challenge for Cancer? We've got the 10 of Cups. Yeah, and this just like flew into the recent past position, the Hangman. So some of you could be feeling like maybe before you had it all, and you could be waiting on what comes next. Yeah. It's funny how when I say then the cards all line it up perfectly. You could be focusing on what comes next. It's like I had it all in the past, now what? And there is this message coming through from your guides where it's like this is kind of part of it, being able to sit in the present moment and not know what comes next and trusting yourself that you have the ability to create the life that you want within yourself. Okay. What's the external influence for Cancer this August? We have the Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, or the Knight of Swords, the 10 of Wands, the 8 of Wands. So the external influence is, again, that energy of abandonment, perhaps someone that was very significant to you walking away or leaving your dynamic, or even maybe for some of you, this isn't as extreme as a breakup or a severing of ties. Perhaps it's even an energy of like being at a distance, maybe ghosting or not talking to each other. This definitely feels like it happened quickly and it put you into a space of a lot of overwhelm and overthinking. It feels a lot like almost like the energy of what did I do? How did it go wrong? And that's, I think, the energy of that past, the energy from the past coming back up into the present. Okay. All right. What is the hopes and fears for Cancer? So we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Tower. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio, I'm hearing, or someone with Scorpio placements. We have the Five of Wands, the Queen of Wands, Three of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles. So, in the Four of Wands, some of you are definitely wanting to work at this dynamic that you're having with another person. There's this energy of hopes and fears of you having the stability to navigate this Tower moment and the things that are happening within this dynamic. Whatever conflict has come up with you, with this other person with you, it feels like for a group of you, you're hoping that you have the ability to navigate it. For others of you that don't want anything to do with this other person, it feels like the energy is still the same, that you're hoping to have, it's almost like the inner strength to be able to nurture yourself and care for yourself and put yourself in a position to be able to stand on your own. And when these Tower moments come, be able to stand on your own 2 feet and weather that storm. Okay. What's in the outcome position for Cancer? You have the Six of Wands and the Five of Cups. So you will overcome this period of sadness or of challenge that you're experiencing. Nine of Cups here, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. This is coming to me in a few ways, so I'm going to do my best to articulate all of them. Six of Wands is an energy of personal success and victory, being recognized for the things that you're doing and for the direction that you're moving. And I feel like a lot of you are moving from a very heart-centered place, and you're really working on the things that you've experienced, whether it's with this person or with others that have hurt you. And I feel like you're determined to, in the likely outcome, achieve a level of stability within the self. Some of you could be very much on the page of like, I want to do this by myself. Like, I just heard the expression like my house, my rules. So some of you could just be very empowered within the self to be very self-sufficient. Others of you, there is also this energy of wishing for the ability to work towards rebuilding this connection. And I'm hearing all of these are possible, especially for those of you, you know, that the energy of wanting to reconnect and having the feeling like there was enough good in this relationship in order to rebuild something new. And then you'll know for those of you that that's just not your story and you don't want to rebuild something with this person. I feel like for this group, it's like 50-50. All right. What is the advice for Cancer this August? What's advice? Wow. Okay. This one here. Yep, that was it. All right, so we have the Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So be patient with yourself. The Knight of Pentacles is all about patience. It's like, what is it? I can't remember anything today. It's almost like I keep reaching for information. It's just not there. It's like the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise wins the race. So instead of focusing on rebuilding yourself or this relationship or whatever it is that you're wanting to create this new foundation, be patient with yourself, because the more time that you take within this transformation or this rebuilding, the more stable it's going to be. It's like, think about it if you were to build something like, think if you're building like a brick wall and you are mortaring in between each brick and you let each layer dry as you were building it. I don't know how to do this, so I'm just speaking off of like metaphorical context. It's like if you go slowly and allow each layer of it to dry in between, you're going to increase its level of stability and the weight that it can hold while you're building it, rather than doing it very quickly and all the mortar being wet and then it sagging and coming down. Does that make sense? I hope so. Four of Pentacles, the Death card. And just being mindful of what it is that you've been through and what you've experienced and the ways that you, I'm hearing, would like to protect yourself more in the future. All right, Cancer, this is your reading. I trust that it resonated with you. If you feel inclined, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me and is very helpful to me when you do those things. Until next time, be well.